Today, we're going to talk about measuring and how you measure different things. Sometimes you want to see how long something is, how tall you are, or how much is in a cup if we measure it. So let's just think. I want to know what the distance is from one end of my toolbox to the other end of my toolbox. I want to measure that distance, or length. And I need something to measure it with. A unit of measurement. I think I'll use a foot. No, not that one. I want to use my foot, or the foot of my cat, Mauler, or paw. So I'm going to get my toolbox and we'll measure it. So here I have my toolbox. It's actually my husband's toolbox, but we can use it for this. So I'm going to take, let's see, I'll start with my foot. I'm going to take my foot and I'm going to place it right at the end of the toolbox. So then I see, let's see, let me adjust the angle here. All right, so I see that that's 1 foot. Now there are 2 ways I can move my foot. I can either put something to mark where my foot stopped, and then I can pick up my foot and put it on the other side, or I can take my foot and I can carefully flip it over. So either way you want to measure something is all right. Just make sure you're extra careful with that second method. I'm going to use my pencil method. So that's 1 foot. And that's not quite 2 feet. We'll say that's about 1 1/2 of my feet. So here I have my sheet for what I want to measure. I have my toolbox, so I will write down how many of my feet it took to measure the length of the toolbox. So it took 1 1/2. 1 1/2 of my feet for the length of the toolbox. Now I'm going to use Mauler's foot, or a tracing of his foot, not his actual foot. I don't think he'd like that very much. So I'm going to place it right here. So that's 1 of Mauler's feet. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 9. It took 9 of Mauler's feet to go the length of the toolbox. So 9. And I need to make sure I'm writing my unit of measurement. So 1 1/2 feet and 9 feet. All right, so now I'm going to measure the rug and the table, and I'll be right back. All right, so I finished measuring the rug and the table, and I found that for the rug, it was 8 1/2 of my feet long, but 59 of Mauler's feet long. And for the table, it was 7 feet for me, and 44 feet for Mahler. So we have 1 foot and we have another foot, but they're different sizes, right? So even though the distance from one end of the toolbox to the other, or from one end of the rug to the other, or from one end of the table to the other stays the same, our measurement changes depending on the unit of measurement we use. So in your follow-up work, you have a chart like this. So what I want you to do is to go around your house or even outside and measure how many of your feet it takes to go somewhere, to measure the distance of something, and how many of someone else in your house's feet. It can be a pet, it can be your mom or dad, it could be an aunt or uncle, it can be your sibling, it can be anyone else in your house. It could be a stuffed animal. And I want you to see the difference between your foot and someone else's foot. You could, you could measure the distance of your hallway, how long your hallway is in your feet, how long your bed is in your feet. You could even measure, oh my gosh, how long it is around your house, the perimeter around your house in your feet and someone else's feet. That would be really interesting to see. So go ahead and do the follow-up work and have your parents upload it, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.